So SkinBetter uses a form called tetrahexadecyl ascorbate.
That sounds like a dinosaur.
It does. It does. You guys, it took me so long to figure out how to actually say that.
Hey guys, welcome back to the AA Skin Babes Pod. I'm your host, Lena, licensed esthetician, and today I have Kristen,
licensed esthetician.
Macy
Taylor, esthetician apprentice.
And back this week we have Kelsey.
Yes, Kelsey Rhodes, aesthetic business manager.
And we're all getting used to the Rhodes too because she just got married in October.
I did, yes.
And we are all so excited. Last week we talked about retinols, retinoids, the difference, what they do in the skin. Today, we want to talk about over-exfoliation. And why I bring this up is because I've seen it in my treatment room and TikTok. I see so much on TikTok of like people using 10 million products and they're all the same like acids over and over again. I'm just like, not right.
Well, I think a lot of the acne treatments, they think they need to have an acidic cleanser. And then the toner is acidic, and then the treatment, the salicylics and the mandelics.
I mean, not even
serums,
that, like anti-aging. They think they need a retinol.
Well,
they need
anti-aging too.
I'm not going to get into that because Dr. Peel will act in peel shot thing. I could go 40 days on that. It's not a peel. That's all I'm saying, and I'm moving on.
Acne isn't just skin deep. It affects your confidence and how you show up every day. Having a pimple is really hard to go out and hang out with your friends. And if your acne is flaring up, it can also attribute to your self-confidence and your perception of yourself.
That's why at Amazingly Ageless Medspa, we have made our own acne boot camp. This is a results-driven program with medical-grade treatments like VI peels, AC Dual, and LED light therapy. With personalized skincare coaching, we can take you to the next level in your skincare journey because our clients see real transformations and we'd love to see you do the same.
Take the first step today. Call us, make an appointment, and let's get you set up on a program.
And start your journey to clear confident skin today. SkinBetter Science has a couple of the best I guess not call it barrier repair. It is. The Alto and the Maestro barrier repair. I want to talk about Alto and Maestro and why they're so good. They got antioxidants. They got all this. Oh, I know what I want to talk about. Vitamin C.
Okay.
The form of vitamin C that's in these, why it's different.
Yeah.
This is what it's like working with Lena. It's like she'll be walking down the hallway and then you just see her perk up. She's, ooh, I remember something. And she'll turn around and walk the other way. Ooh, I remember something else. And it's like, Lena, just
if we want
one
to
train of thought, sis. One train of thought.
I get in my treatment room and I'll be talking to a client and trying to explain the products to them. And in my head, for some reason, the ingredient list is not coming up in my head. I'll be halfway through my facial and all of a sudden it's like, oh, this is what it's called. The word, got it. Here it is. And then we're we've moved on for the conversation for 20 minutes, but here we go. It's back. So that is what I want to talk about is the two forms of vitamin C, the ones that we mostly find over the counter in those vitamin C serums, and then what form of vitamin C is in the Alto and Maestro.
Yeah, absolutely. So the typical kind of form of vitamin C that first broke the industry, if that's what you want to call it, is L-ascorbic acid. So majority of your vitamin Cs that you find in a dropper or that are liquid are going to be an L-ascorbic acid. They're amazing, but they're not very stable. So that is an ingredient that is really challenging to use and can definitely help break down the barrier, right? If it's not used by itself or if it's used with a retinol, that can create damage in the barrier.
Or if it's used improperly, too much.
Absolutely.
You can use
it's
too much of the L-ascorbic acid.
Yeah. And it's not the most tolerable for everybody. So there's been a lot of people that I've talked to that are like, oh my gosh, I've never been able to use vitamin C because it irritates my skin. And it's that type of vitamin C. So SkinBetter uses a form called tetrahexadecyl ascorbate.
That sounds like a dinosaur.
It does. It does. You guys, it took me so long to figure out how to actually say that, but it's THD ascorbate for short. And so it's a much more stable molecule that's a little bit easier for everybody to use. And so people who typically can't use vitamin C's or come to me and they're like, oh my gosh, I really need to use a vitamin C, but it makes me red or flushed or a little irritated, have been able to use Alto and Alto Advanced. And so what makes them different is it's not just vitamin C, which is why it's not called a vitamin C serum. In Alto, which is our original vitamin C formula, there's actually 19 total antioxidants in there, which is amazing. It's going to help with your water, your enzymes, and your lipids, which is everything that makes your skin up. So you're getting full 360 protection. We came out with Alto Advanced a couple years ago, which has 4 additional ingredients in there. So you still have those 19 antioxidants helping with that extrinsic protection. But we have an additional 20th antioxidant in there that helps with our internal aging. And then we also have some niacinamide and 2 DNA repair ingredients, which actually help the mitochondria. And this is where I can geek out with skincare. But the mitochondria really helps every cell in your body. Like, it is the powerhouse of the cell, but that's actually what ages us inside out. Is we start to age and it starts to dysfunction, which produces free radicals internally. And so that intrinsic free radical allele PQQ actually helps to neutralize those, and then the 2 DNA repair help to fix the mitochondria. So it's a very anti-aging version of vitamin C.
Yes.
So think of it as a car. You're revving up the engine. You're improving the engine in your car by using the right ingredients.
Yeah, absolutely. I like to think of it as like a multivitamin for your skin because, yes, it has vitamin C. But again, in a previous episode, we had talked about the fact that SkinBetter is so multifunctional, and Alto Advanced are definitely those products as well.
Just because I get these questions, I want to go over the difference between Alto Advanced and Maestro, because that's mainly what we carry at the shop. We don't have the original Alto. We do the Alto Advanced and Repair and the Maestro. It's Advanced and Repair is not the name of it.
Alto Defense and Repair.
Thank you. The train, it's going crazy today.
Well, I think another thing is vitamin C is you see it everywhere on social media, whatever. Why do we have the vitamin C? I mean, is it an essential ingredient? I guess, it's like it's kind of like hyaluronic acid. Whenever it came out, every product had hyaluronic acid in it. And now it seems like every product is vitamin C, vitamin C, vitamin C. And so it's
I debate that. I think every product right now is retinol.
Well, okay.
But go on.
So
make your point.
With the vitamin C, when it comes to, because we are talking about the barrier, protecting your barrier, how does it protect your barrier?
Yeah, it's going to help with all that free radical damage, which is what ages us. I mean, if we're talking majority of our aging comes from the outside, or what we were talking about with extrinsic earlier. And so helping to protect against that free radical damage can definitely help protect and truly rebuild your barrier.
I saw one of those little AI those little graphs, and vitamin C was like a bunch of little soldiers on your skin. I thought that was, that's a really good visual, is that, the right form of vitamin C can be like the little soldiers that protect your skin.
So I'm going to bring this back to it because this was not where I want to go, but I didn't want to go because I have to explain this a lot. Now just get turned to the podcast. Like, go to the episode. Kelsey explains it so much easier and in better words than I do. Because as you can tell, my words get a little bit out there, or I ramble for days. We're going to go back to barrier. Now, Kristen, what is the barrier? We actually, 3 episodes ago, we went all over what the barrier is, what it does.
Macy's shaking her head. With our barrier, think about your skin's like a sponge. And I think this is the same analogy we used last time.
We used Mike.
So she used a sponge.
Yep.
You did?
Yep.
You listen to the podcast!
I did. You guys, I do.
Think of your skin as a sponge. And when you lay a wet sponge out on the counter, it's going to dry out. And so, but if you take a wet sponge and you stick it inside of a plastic bag and you seal it up, that sponge is going to hold the water. Same thing with our skin. If we take and put a barrier or something on the top of our skin to protect it, then it's not going to have environmental damage. It's not going to be able to evaporate all of the hydration that's in our skin. And so that barrier also keeps, bacteria and different things from penetrating through the outside layer of our skin. So we need to have a good barrier on your skin to protect it from all kinds of damage.
And this is where the antioxidants come into play. This is where I put someone on so rosacea is a skin condition. It is. Mm-hmm. But I have a lot of people that come in thinking they have rosacea and they actually have damage. And that's where Alto and Maestro come in. And that's where I'll start them on Alto or Maestro first. And the difference, they're like, oh, I'm not getting red anymore. I'm like, yeah.
Or the rosacea's gone away.
Yeah. And I think that where, to your point, that red is so challenging because there are so many people that just have damaged barriers, but damaged barriers can also accentuate rosacea. And so trying to deal with redness is really trying to figure out like what are their triggers. And so I think that's kind of back to the question of like, okay, Alto versus Maestro, which one are we choosing for reds? Alto wasn't formulated to be a reds product per se. The reason that it's so beneficial with reducing the inflammation in the skin is because of all of those antioxidants. And we know they're already anti-inflammatory to begin with, but we're helping protect against those extrinsic agers, right? Or triggers like UV, pollution, blue light, things like that help break down the barrier. And then Maestro is going to help actually bring your skin back to homeostasis through plant adaptogens.
Yeah. So, which is also where we decide whether they have damaged barrier or they actually have rosacea. I don't know why. I don't know what's wrong with me today. Words are not my
But I know
strong
with a lot of my
suit.
because I treat a lot of rosacea clients, and I know that before I would never have even thought of using anything that's vitamin C form right after IPL or right after a peel treatment or something like that. But this form, Alto, is such a great healing product that I will put it on post laser. I will do, just a simple IPL and then send them home with some samples of Maestro or Alto. And that just is like the perfect, the icing on the cake for working with pigment clients.
Yeah. And that's typically vitamin C's aren't usually recommended post because they are so irritating. But SkinBetter's also done clinical studies pre and post treatment with Maestro and then post treatment with Alto Advanced with non-ablative lasers. And so from a clinician standpoint, like that's why you guys are able to use those products because you have faith in the brand. But we've done those clinical studies that show the tolerability.
And now the difference between, okay, so I don't say the whole name. I just say ascorbic. Whatever.
Yep. L-ascorbic acid.
Yes. Why the price point is so different for like this form of vitamin C compared to something you get over the counter. I think I heard you say this once at one of the lectures I went to, was one's easier to stabilize, one's harder to stabilize. Right?
Yes and no. A lot of it's going to go back to potency. And so if you kind of think about skincare products, I feel like I reference food all the time, guys. I'm a foodie. But if you think about skincare ingredients, kind of like you do with steaks, right? We live in the Midwest. We have some really high quality steaks here. And so your medical grade products, yes, they're a little more expensive. They're using really high quality ingredients. The lower you get with your over the counter products, your professional products, there's some brands out there that call them professional, not medical grade. Those just kind of go down the line with the potency and the quality of ingredients that they're using.
I'm going to wait for our comment section to light up here because you know how many people don't believe in a medical grade skincare?
Right.
And that's not a real thing. I'm like, there is so a difference from over the counter, you can go get at Ulta, to something that we have to be under a doctor to be able to sell because there is such a difference in potency. But I'm going to tell y'all now, don't go to our comment section because it's going to be lit up with medical grade is not real.
Yeah. And but again, that's where, we're kind of getting off topic, but that is where the skincare industry isn't regulated by the FDA, right? So like any brand can go online and basically say like,
all this.
Yeah, like, we increase hydration by like 10,000 times, but there's not clinical proof behind it. And so that's where I always lean on, you have ChatGPT at your fingertips now. Like we have all of these tools that people can do their own research. And I'm like, if a brand hasn't clinically proven that they're backing up what they say, like, why are you spending money on that product?
And this is where SkinBetter knocked out of the freaking park.
Yeah.
Because they did clinical studies, trials.
Yeah. Yeah. We have clinical studies on all of our technologies.
Yeah. And so that is where, like, when I recommend it, or like whenever we go over the pictures and stuff, and they're like, is this real? I'm like, this is from a clinical trial. Like, they actually did this study. And this is why this product works so much. I totally forgot about that point. Thank you for bringing it up.
Yeah. And all of our clinical trials aren't done like in-house, like at, corporate. Like those are all done by like third-party clinical sites where dermatologists are running those clinicals.
Yes. This is why their skincare is superior.
Yeah.
And they actually get the difference. Which actually, okay, so today's topic was supposed to be over barriers. But when we started talking, I remember we haven't talked about vitamin C yet on the podcast. So that's kind of why this has taken the turn it has. So Do we have any question about vitamin C before I ask any more barrier questions?
I think a question that I get a lot is when I'm working consumer events is what % vitamin C is Alto Advanced?
Yes.
Because I
Yes.
think that that's such a huge topic of conversation with retinoids and or retinols, and vitamin C is what % is it? And SkinBetter has a proprietary blend, but we've clinically outperformed a 15% L-ascorbic, and then we also clinically outperformed a 30% THD ascorbate. So when it comes to vitamin C, it's not necessarily just the ingredient that matters, but formula trumps ingredients all day long.
Yes.
Yes, because there's the fillers and the waxes and everything else that is found in a lot of the over-the-counter products. You know, you may have a high percentage ingredient, but if you have a bunch of filler ingredients in there with it, then you're not getting the right product to where you need it to be effective.
Absolutely.
And that's where with SkinBetter, just the dosage alone, one pump is all you need, and it will cover the entire face.
Yep.
And so that's one superior thing that I've found with SkinBetter is, it's just all powerful ingredients. You're not looking at all that extra stuff, perfumes, the waxes that is in over-the-counter products that can actually cause a reaction in your skin.
And I just want to talk real quick on how long bottles last. I get this question all the time, and I'm like, you will not believe me when I tell you it will last you 2 to 3 times longer than anything you get at Walmart for cheaper.
Yeah.
Like, the price point matches up for how much you get, the results that happen. And this isn't just one bottle. I mean, not even a whole bottle. Like, the results you see in 4 weeks alone.
I'll answer the Maestro Alto Advanced question.
Okay, go ahead.
So a couple of products that I love for barriers is one, Maestro. It's really going to help to rebalance or bring the skin back to homeostasis. It's doing so through a blend of plant adaptogens, so it's more of that holistic approach to your skincare. I love to think of Maestro as like AI for your skin because it's going to function so differently in all of our skins at different times. This time of year where the weather's changing, oh my gosh, like I guarantee that a lot of those acne patients are because their skin's getting more dry, and so they're overproducing oil, and you just have all of these changes where Maestro is going to kind of keep you more at balance. Maestro is really going to help bring your skin back to homeostasis. Again, with those plant adaptogens, it really functions as a whole, and so you're going to see really great improvements with redness, texture, dullness, pore size, pigmentation, and just kind of gives you that overall like glow, which a lot of people are after.
And then pairing that with other products.
I pair it with the Even.
Yeah, absolutely. For pigmentation,
for
absolutely.
my pigmentation clients. While we are here, let's touch on the new Maestro product.
Yeah. So Maestro Revive is our brand new product that just launched a few weeks ago. And so that's going to be for your perimenopausal, menopausal skin.
Why is everybody looking at me?
Well, you have us here that are under 30, so.
Yeah. So it is going to be for your older patients, but I don't necessarily say like pigeonhole it in that because with perimenopause specifically, it's so hard to just put a number on it. It's not like all of a sudden you hit 45 and boom, you're in perimenopause. And so things that you might notice in your skin is your skin gets a lot more dry, right? And so we can lean on moisturizers, but that's going to be that patient that comes in and is like, okay, I know you gave me Trio Luxe, but like my skin is still so dry. And just products that used to work aren't working anymore. And so Revive has a couple additional ingredients in it that Maestro doesn't. So we actually have our Path 13 technology. So there's 13 plant adaptogens instead of 9 that are targeting that hormonal shift that happens when we go into perimenopause and menopause.
So I missed the last time you were in. I was busy. I didn't get to take off for the last time Kelsey was here. So I'm learning all this for the first time, which is so cool. Well, I kind of learned a little bit from Mom. So does it have something to do with estrogen? Did I hear that right, or was I messed up there?
Well, so yes and no. So we don't have estrogen in Maestro, but when you do start hitting perimenopause, menopause, like you do have a change in your estrogen. And so that's kind of what causes that like dryness and those changes in your skin. So it is targeting that like hormonal shift that happens.
I need to get you back in so I can learn about it. I
I
got to learn about it. Yeah, I missed the training.
It's treating the symptoms, not the root cause. So
Oh,
it's
gotcha.
it's the symptoms of low estrogen is going to be drier skin and some of those things. And so this is helping to treat the symptoms. It's not going to fix, your low estrogen, but it's going to help your skin deal
We
with
saw
it.
I have
us-
a couple clients that come to mind. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
now I need
We
to-
saw a
Now-
62% improvement in reds at 16 weeks with Maestro Revive. We saw a 50% improvement with Maestro. It is a little bit of a thicker formula, so I personally have not switched over. I am very normal oily, so I love Maestro. But a lot of those patients that are drier like that thicker feel, and so they really do love Revive. My mom had said she's like, I've seen an insane reduction in reds, and she was already on Maestro, which is
So what if
amazing.
you have someone on Trio Lux and would you put them on that too? Is that almost too much on the face?
I don't think so at all. I think it's going to help rebalance them, especially like this time of year. They're just function a little bit differently. So Lux is really going to help rebalance your barrier because it has that cholesterol, the essential fatty acids, and the ceramides in it, which is everything that makes up your skin. Where Maestro is functioning more from that, let's look at the root cause of that dryness, which is those hormonal shifts in the skin. And so they really do synergistically work together.
Awesome. I'm learning so much. I don't know about you guys. But so are there anything else you feel like we need to hit real quick?
I think
We're almost out of time, guys.
Okay,
so-
we're talking about one of the things about Maestro and Alto is that it's a yellow color. And so what I tell my clients is if you're putting it on your skin has a yellow tint to it, you're using too much, back off. And I think the other little tip would be your Tone Smart.
Yeah. So that, again, we always talk about dosing when it comes to applying SkinBetter products because people tend to overuse their products. And so, again, 1 pump is normally plenty. With Maestro specifically, you only need about half of a pump. It does not seem like a lot, but it will spread. And that's a product that I always say we tend to spread out when we're applying our products. And so they'll sometimes sit heavy on the hairline, the chin. And so definitely making sure that you rub your Maestro in or give it just a little bit more love than you typically would with normal products, and then putting something between Tone Smart and Maestro because Tone Smart does have that tone adapting technology in there. So if it doesn't get fully rubbed in your skin, then it's going to adapt to the tone of Maestro versus the tone of your skin. So that's really where I love Trio Lux. Not only are they going to help with your barrier support and bringing you back to more of that normal skin and not oily and not dry, but it does help that Tone Smart lotion adapt to the actual tone of your skin.
So so that way that the color doesn't adapt towards the yellow in the vitamin C, but it will adapt towards more of
Your actual skin.
Your actual color. So if you've had that problem with your Tone Smart going a little yellow, then make sure that you are putting that barrier in between your Tone Smart and your Alto and Maestro. I didn't know that. She told me that a couple months ago, and I'm like, oh, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
And and it is naturally that orange, yellowish. It's like a bad spray tan color, in my opinion.
What?
The Maestro is kind of like that color of a bad spray tan. You know?
It has astaxanthin in there,
Yeah,
which
so-
is what gives flamingos its pink color, fun fact. And so it's just a very powerful antioxidant and then you have all your plant adaptogens, which are very colorful.
Mine went bad. It's like orange. I was like, no, that's what it's supposed to be.
That's
Like,
the
you're
color
good,
they're
you're
supposed to be.
good.
They don't. Yeah.
So,
we don't use dyes, fragrances, parabens, all the
So
bad things.
that's what it's supposed to be, and it doesn't oxidize.
All right. Well, we are out of time, guys. So we will talk to you guys. Oh, thank you, Kelsey, for coming and hanging out with us
thanks
in
for
the last
having
couple
me.
episodes. And we will talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.